Hello and welcome to another Nature Time with Nathan. On the show today is what is happening in the month of October. I know the show is a little late, but I had a little health issues and didn't think I could make the show, but here we are. Fall is upon us now, and the weather is getting a little bit colder and we're starting to see the daylight decreasing. Creatures are busy getting ready for winter and birds will be migrating. So, creatures right now are busily preparing for winter, such as in my backyard where we've created a little urban oasis for these two chipmunks and have been enjoying them running around, collecting nuts and hiding them in various places. A few not so nice places like our sunroom, but we cleaned it up and gave them a hint that they were evicted from that area. But there's lots of other areas that they've made and it's been quite entertaining. Also, you got your groundhogs and your bears. They will be hibernating this winter. Snakes are on the move right now, soaking up the last rays of sunshine before moving to their winter dens, which could be hollowed logs, burrows, caves, or even your basement. Eek! So keep a lookout for that. But please, if they come into your house or basement, remove them, put them back outside, and let them carry on with their way. With the decreasing daylight hours, this is an awesome time to see a lot of critters that you might not normally see, all your nocturnal or creatures out there. One particular species is actually owls, and it's owl month because right now there is going to be increased activity from your owls. Lots of extra hooting and shrieking and general other owl noises as they fight for territory. The young owls are reaching maturity right now, and they will be looking for their own territory and encroaching on older owls to fight for territory. I know I was treated to a particular display by two eastern screech owls when I was at the Big Bend Conservation Area. I was just approaching night. I was having a bonfire, and it's like they didn't even notice I was there. They were flying all over, swooping, almost diving my head, making all this hollering. I was a little terrified because I couldn't see much in the dark, but it was quite the show from what I could see, and it was an enjoyable moment to hear them and be in their presence, even if I was part of their territory dispute. Maybe they were trying to get me to be the judge. Also, I remember one October I was just sitting at a campsite just as the sun was coming down, and this great horned owl came out and landed right on the top of this big pine tree. Oh, it was so great with the sunset just catching the silhouette. Oh, beautiful. A word of caution to those up north right now. If you see a moose, a big moose with antlers on it, watch out! It is currently moose rutting season, and those bull mooses are unpredictable. I encountered one on the Dixon Bonfield Portage 2 years ago, and we just had a staring match for half an hour as I didn't want to proceed or get in his way. They could be quite aggressive, and overall you just can't predict what they're going to do. So keep a fair distance and respect them. And if for some reason you do end up in troubles, I hear climbing up a tree is sometimes the best way, and you be prepared. You might have to spend the whole night because the moose will wait for you to come down. But hopefully that doesn't happen to you. So right now your Cooper hawks are migrating, and then so next will be your red-tailed hawks. Towards the end of the month, your rough-legged hawks, northern goshawks, and your golden eagles will be migrating. One of the best times to view this migration is during cold fronts, when the wind comes out of the north and goes to the south, which helps push them on down. This past week, when we've had those nice warm fronts, you wouldn't have seen a lot of birds migrating, especially hawks. So look forward to a cold front. And one of the best areas in Ontario to see the hawks migrating is actually south of Windsor there. Hawks don't like crossing over large bodies of water, so they will go for the shortest point, and one of the shortest points on the route is south of Windsor. I mean, who can blame them? That's probably where I would cross too if I was flying, or even if I was in my canoe. I wouldn't cross the Great Lakes. I'd cross the Detroit River. Another cool thing to look for right now is mushrooms hanging in trees, drying out. Your squirrels are placing mushrooms for the winter, and they're trying to dry them out by hanging them out in the trees. Usually I've seen them in conifers to dry. So please leave them alone so the squirrels have something to eat, but that's a cool thing to check out and notice. Insects right now are continuing to feed, but soon they will be looking for a warm spot to spend the winter, such as your house. I know at band practice we get inundated with box elders coming out of the ceiling and playing and all over our instruments and everything else. It might bring you a little bit of comfort to hear that once your home heat starts kicking on for the winter, it will dry the place out. And most of these insects that come in to try to survive the winter can't handle the harsh, dry environments of our households, which is a surprise that we can. But anyways, only a few insects are made for that or designed for that, such as the common house spider and the cellar spider. Now I know everyone, all the websites, Ontario Parks tells you, go fall camping, there's no bugs. But I gotta tell you, I've gone camping every fall and I always come back with bug bites. Especially me and my wife just came back from Temagami, and we're covered in mosquito bites. It is true, there are less bugs. There are more windows where the bugs are not bothering you, but towards the early morning and just as before dusk, especially if there's no wind, expect bugs. We were getting bit by no-see-ums and mosquitoes. And I also find in the fall, because you're not always on guard, because you're not seeing them as much, you don't wear as much protection. So you actually might be less bugs, but if you're like me and you don't seem to notice or react fast enough, you come home with actually more bug bites than you do if you go in a nice hot June. As if you need to tell me right now, we are into fall colors and the trees are starting to look spectacular, especially up north in Algonquin. Mainly your sugar maples are really started to change, and a lot of the other trees are all starting to go. Tamaracks will probably be the last ones. Now most people think that fall is all about the deciduous leaf changings, and you're not wrong. But as your evergreens do lose needles as well, such as your pine trees. They will lose it will just turn a quick yellow, and they will lose some of their old needles as they make room to grow for the new needles. Now it's time for the astronomy section, the night sky. Also a little bit of the day of the sky, because this month on October 14th at 1 p.m. or peaking at 1 p.m. we have a partial solar eclipse. And then we have some meteor showers, the Orinoids, which will be peaking on October 21st. And this is actually a result of us passing through the remnants there of Comet Halley. So that's kind of cool. And you can look for this. You can see it across the entire sky, but mainly it will radiate out of the Orion's area, which is how it got its name. Which is another cool fact. Orion's belt, that's my favorite winter constellation, so it's always a pleasure when that comes into view. You can find the constellation Orion if you are looking southeast at the horizon. As I am sure all of you are well aware, Halloween is at the end of this month, and that's why October is also known to be kind of a more scarier month. I find it's more of our interaction with the darkness, because we still have some decent temperatures. I got beautiful weather to get outside, like see the fall colors. It's usually dark and gloomy, which kind of helps make the colors pop, but it also makes the scariness pop. So go out there, hope you have a good October, get out in nature, and look forward to seeing you again in November and hearing about all your travels and things you've done in nature and what you've seen. And that's it for Nature Time with Nathan.